Ba-da-ba-da-ba. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba.
Cold open. I'm saying something crazy.
Welcome to the TryPod one-off. What's up, everybody, motherfuckers?
We're doing a little one-off bonus episode. It's almost the end of Q1 in the corporate world.
Hey, and by the way, we love the corporate world.
We are the corporate world. You're like, hey, what the heck is this doing here? What the heck is this on my feed for?
We missed you. We like talking. And one of the things that we heard from y'all is that you missed little updates about what's going on in Tri-World. So even though the TryPod's hanging out on ice, we wanted to make sure that we had a time every now and then to come talk to y'all. We got updates about the company.
Everything.
The future of the TryPod ?
It's been a busy frickin' 2026.
But first, hey, what's up, Keith? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing, Zach?
I feel like I'm good.
How's the little one?
Okay, today, as of recording this, 7 months old.
Whoa.
And crawling too much.
Uh-oh.
Not supposed to be crawling yet.
Yeah, you've got a little gymnast over there, a little brute.
She was like sitting up at 5 months, which is like 9. That's like a 9-month thing.
Early.
So like she's just sort of speeding past all of these milestones, and I have not baby-proofed my house.
Yeah.
So that's going to be...
You got to do that now.
I got to do that.
At least get the outlet covers.
Yeah, well, no, that's kind of like the fun spice, keeps us alive.
Right.
But yeah, I'm headed down to South by Southwest. When this comes out, I may be in Austin.
Right. Yeah.
She's coming with me, so that'll be fun.
How fun.
I'll have her eat some barbecue.
Gotta get her some cowboy boots and a belt buckle.
That would be so freaking cute.
That'd be so funny.
But that feels like the main update in my life is just dadding stuff,
Yeah.
And we've been working our little booties off over here in Try Guys World.
65 videos shot so far this year.
How is that even possible?
We're not even halfway through March, and we have shot 65 videos. And I'm not counting the videos that have been published this year. Most of those were shot last year.
How is 65 videos possible?
I don't know, because there's actually not even been 65 days so far in the year, and especially work days. But the way it is because we are bringing back Try Every Day, starting April, 3 times a week.
Whoa, for how long?
For the foreseeable future.
Forever.
Can't say forever. And then we also have the Try Guys Game Time channel that has launched and been going with one a week and some bonus episodes every so often.
Those are so fun.
They're so much fun.
And I am actually upset about the channel.
Because you're not on it.
Yeah, because they look like they're having so much fun. And it was basically like, hey, what if we made this really fun playground for all of our friends to come in and play games?
Something you love, which
I love games. And actually we'll do it only on the days, Zach, that you're not here.
Right.
So you don't even get to be in the room.
Yep.
Some bullshit.
That's what we did. So between block shooting those, and then we obviously have been shooting tons of videos. We just yesterday shot or wrapped Phoning It In.
That was so fun.
Yeah.
6 episodes.
6 episodes, 4 for YouTube, 2 Oops specials, each with a different flavor.
Are you saying double the oops, double the idiots?
Yeah, double the oops, double the idiots. I just repeated what you said. So we just shot those. We also shot what I am probably the most excited for of any show we have made.
You're just diving into updates. Well, I want to hear about you, Keith.
Okay. I mean, that's what I have watched rough edits of that show more than I've, just for fun, more than anything other than maybe Keith Plays a Porn Game, which I also watch for fun.
Okay, fine. We'll talk about it. But then I do want to hear about you.
Okay, so we have this new show that we have been working on. We working on how it would work for 9 months, right?
Yeah.
That's when we came up with it and we started drafting what would this be, and we made a version and we trashed it.
Yeah, I was supposed to shoot in August while I was gone.
We made a version and we trashed it. We made another version and we trashed it.
Yeah, and it just we kept pushing it back because it was like we see the potential of how good this can be, and we don't want to deliver. You only get one first impression. I want it to be as good as we can do, and so we finally waited. Let's tell the people. It's called Killer Dinner, and it is a social deduction murder mystery show.
Reality show.
It's a reality show.
We are an unscripted company, but this is a reality show.
It is, you could say it's our version of Traitors.
Yeah,
it
it's
is
similar
based
in
on
some
our
ways.
love of games like Mafia and Secret Hitler, and there are a lot of those social deduction. One Night Werewolf,
right?
Ultimate Werewolf. And so it is a dinner party where Keith, the host, has been murdered.
Right.
And he invites 9 of his best friends in to find out which of whomst among them
Whomst is the killer.
is the secret killer, and there are twists. Oh, there are turns.
Yeah.
And it is the first thing that we have made as the Try Guys that we made the artifice of the game, and then we said go. And it really, really feels like a reality show where people are, they're coming up with their own plans. There's
secret relationships. There's like secret alliances.
I mean, at one point, like people were yelling at each other.
Yeah.
It had the freedom of like, hey, we all love each other. We are all friends, but I am going to get pissed off at you.
Yeah,
and
because you get into those games.
And these feelings will be real, and as soon as the game's over, we will hug.
Yes.
But while I'm in this game, I hate you right now. And it's awesome.
It's so exciting, and it has a companion podcast where the people who basically get eliminated throughout the game, we kept them in the dark. They don't know what actually is the truth of the game, so you're just coming up with crazy conspiracy theories of how it's going. I won't tell you who's in those episodes because that would spoil things for you, but it is as funny, a totally different watching experience, but it's like one of the funniest things we've made, and Killer Dinner is one of the most intense drama, suspenseful twists.
Oh, you're saying the podcast is one
I'm saying
of the
podcast, like
yeah.
the Ghost Kitchen podcast, which is the accompanying show for that show, is hilarious, and Killer Dinner is thrilling. Last night I was going to sleep and I was thinking of like we have like kitchen games, which are ways to like have games so that people can make mistakes and have a reason to accuse people of trying to throw a game.
The games would decide.
I thought of new fun games. Ooh.
Oh, you did?
I did.
So the games decide if the team gets a banishment or if the murderer or if the killers unlock a murder. So it's based on the pass fail of the game. And then that's like based on people's behavior during the game. That's what sort of arouses suspicion.
So good. Zach did so much work on the skeleton. Rachel did so much work like making like how it would work and how we would shoot in the day. And then I on the fly was also like helping tweak things to make it
You guys did a great job
work,
with it.
and also like memorizing scripts as you guys were like in the cocktail hour. I was just furiously memorizing it because we were shooting it so fast.
You're killer, dude, in it.
It's so fun.
You're so good as a host in it.
It's so fun.
Yeah, I'm exceptionally excited for people to see that. It's it's like, I mean, we tried to get the whole cast.
Yeah.
We got most of them. I mean, it was just like people were not available. But then
there's 10 of us.
Yeah,
10 people in the show.
And then anyone who's not in this season, we're just immediately like, oh my God, I hope this works so we can run it back.
I want to make dozens of seasons of this. I'm just so excited. I think it's like the hot new thing since like Without a Recipe for us or Phoning It In. But it's a totally different show. It's totally different. I should shut up about it, but it's great.
Yeah, I'm exceptionally amped. So you'll see that start rolling out soon.
So soon.
And like I really hope that does well because it'll allow us to do it again with the TryCast. And then if it does well, then we do it again with
maybe some friends.
People.
Maybe some friends from some other streaming networks that would be fun to watch in such a thing. Okay, so but what's new with me? Henry's big.
He's a big boy. He's so long.
He's in the 90th percentile now of
Is this the age that we're at when we say what's new with you? We talk about our kid?
Yeah. Yeah. He's a toddler, so all the things that come with that, all the funny things, all the sort of chaos of like he speaks very well, but also says things that don't make sense because he's trying to like fit in. So he'll say like isms. Like the other day he went, "Oh, yeah, right."
That's really funny. But he's going, "Oh, yeah,
oh,
right.
yeah. Like, we got to do this. Oh, yeah. And I'm like, okay, Becky or I are doing this, and he's picked up that ism, and it's so funny. Or he'll say, "Oh, I can't do this because," and he'll say something that has nothing to do with his inability to do this. Like, "I can't eat waffles because last night we were watching a movie." I'm like, okay. Okay, I guess he's getting me saying like, "Oh, we can't do that because we have to go to school right now." He's like saying like, "Oh, you can, if you don't want to do something, say there's another reason that prevents you." And he's just super fun. You know, he's
silly,
flopping around. He's got a big bruise on his forehead from falling into the wall the other day.
No.
You know, it's not fun.
You said something to me is like, I'm okay with, because Lucia had her first time where she like rolled over and smacked her head or whatever on wood, and it wasn't a big deal, but I was like, oh man, it was my fault. Yeah. And you said like, I'm okay with them getting hurt. I don't want them getting injured.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. She has to get hurt eventually in small ways.
You've got to run and trip and scrape your knee
Yeah.
so that you know that's a consequence. But I don't want him to run and trip and like twist or break his ankle because that's too much of a consequence for him to deal with right now.
Her favorite thing to do when she gets excited is she on her belly, hands and knees, she'll just go like she just like smacks her whole body up and down and like smacks her face into the pillows. Like she just I don't know how to describe it without just going
Yeah.
and she tried that for the first time the other day on the floor and realized, oh, it feels different.
Not all floors are the same.
And that was a really heartbreaking, like, oh, sweetie,
Yeah,
you actually can't thrash in excitement on hardwood.
Yeah, Henry was, we have a stomp rocket, and Henry was, for the lack of a better term, booty blasting it. So jumping on it with his butt on the sofa, and it would fly into the air.
Very
and
funny.
then he tried to booty blast it while it was on the floor.
Oh, yeah.
He did not like the feeling of that. And I told him, like, oh, the couch is really soft, so we can flop on it like the bed. But we can't do that on the floor because the floor, it's hard.
Floor is hard.
And especially when we're outside on the driveway, we definitely don't want to do that on the driveway. That's really hard.
Driveway is super hard.
Super hard.
I just thought of an update.
Yeah.
That's fun and exciting for the team.
Go for it.
Well, we are in the midst of planning a vacation.
Oh, right.
Where
I forgot about this.
You and I and our lovely partners, as well as Eugene, are all going to Korea together.
Going to freaking Korea, K-Town.
I still need to. I'm still working out my side of it. We're trying to figure out.
Right.
But the hope is that one, we get a nice little vacation together and maybe a video. And how cool would it be if we, even if in like just in a fun cameo way, to have Eugene in a video again.
Even if it's just vlogging, eating around town, it'd be great to have him. But also just looking forward to going. I've never been to Korea.
Yeah.
It's like one of the new epicenters of like culture and food. And I like pop culture so sick. The food I want to eat. I also want to eat some Korean versions of some fast food chains. Bring some eat the menus home with me.
If you guys are watching on YouTube or Spotify, there's comments. So or on our Discord our Discord.
Also, if you're watching, you might be like, we said, are you watching on Spotify? That's an interesting thing that happened.
Yeah, because there's video on Spotify
now, which we'll get into a little more on that. But you can watch us there now instead of just listening to us. This is why you watch us on YouTube.
Well, I only got one more thing to say about Korea. Yeah, just any things you think we should do for life or videos you want to see while we're there.
If you live in Korea and have recommendations of some cool restaurants,
comment that below or comment on the Discord.
Let me know.
Yeah, would love that. That would be awesome because we're starting to piece together what that trip might be.
Yeah.
But should we talk about Spotify?
Let's talk about Spotify. And I want to like both clear up a confusing thing that happened and also let you know some interesting things happening. So Spotify has video now. That's something that they started maybe a year or so ago. And when we were chatting with some other YouTubers, they were like, oh, hey, actually, we're finding some like good success. We're finding new audiences. We're getting like some new revenue streams. And we're like, hey, yeah, we want healthy arms of our business. Let me look into this. And I ran a test. Now, I probably should have been a little more, maybe I should have told more people how I was running this test, but I wanted to see how does a video do on a well-subscribed to Spotify feed if I were to upload it.
Yeah, and to clarify even more, so like there's video podcasts, but we also have friends who are just uploading YouTube videos onto Spotify.
Yeah.
And what's cool is that, I forget the percentage of it, but a lot of
40%.
Cool. 40% of people have a Spotify premium account, which means you get to watch stuff ad-free.
Right.
So it's like, oh, we could put Without a Recipe and Eat the Menu and even our new videos up on Spotify, and you guys could watch them ad-free, and then we could see like, hey, how does this compare to YouTube revenue? Is this something like
because we still get revenue when you do that because we get a small portion of the subscription revenue that Spotify gets. So,
that's the context of like, hey, let's do it for a podcast, but let's also see what videos do on Spotify.
So basically, I literally was like, okay, I'm going to throw a Without a Recipe episode and Eat the Menu episode up onto Spotify on the TryPod feed.
He bought beakers. He like put in a lab coat and he said, I'm going to run a test. And I'm like, Keith, what are you doing, dog?
I was like, well, it's early, top of 2026. Let me run a little test. And I put those videos out on the TryPod feed of Spotify. And I maybe I should have been more clear of what I was doing, but I kind of wanted to see, like, is this something we should do? What kind of revenue should I expect? What kind of viewership should I expect? Because if I'm going to like start putting videos onto Spotify, that might be like at least a new part-time hire. It might be like it's someone's time, so it's going to be a lot of time to do that. So
Or
let me
like
see
a
if this is
new
worth it.
post-production job of
So let me see if it's worth it. And the results were, yes, it actually does look like the watch time and viewership is worth it. And the results were also, some people were like, the fuck is this in my TryPod feed? And you were right. What the fuck is that in your TryPod feed?
Well,
Especially people who were getting just audio RSS feeds of a Without a Recipe episode. Not my intention.
So what we didn't know when we ran this experiment is that all the RSS feeds are connected.
Yeah.
And there's no way to disconnect them.
You can't disconnect them.
They're married for life.
Yeah.
They're monogamous for life.
You'd think you could put a block on some episodes, but you can't.
So when you put, I believe, 2 tests out, we figured out the first one and we couldn't stop the second one. So there's an episode of Eat the Menu and an episode of Without a Recipe, which both went up on Spotify.
These went out on a Sunday and a Monday, so it was when no one was working yet when they went out, which is why I didn't stop the second one from going out once I saw what it was doing.
So I would say mildly to extremely annoying to the Spotify listening audience. I would say worse is that it also went out on Apple Podcasts as just
an audio feed.
And so we went, oh,
Oops.
no.
Oops.
What the
Stop
fuck
it.
do we
Stop
do?
it. Stop. Pull the plug.
And what happened, Keith, when you pulled the plug?
When I pulled the plug, it actually temporarily turned off our entire channel of the TryPod on Apple Podcasts.
Well, wait a second, Keith. You just wanted to get rid of the 2 episodes that you put up by accident.
Yeah, I wanted to prevent.
Oh, no, you wanted to stop.
I wanted to stop it.
So you reached out to...
I reached out to Spotify and said, hey, turn this off. And they were like, cool, you got it. And I was like, yeah, put a block so that if I were to put another video on here, it wouldn't share it to Apple Podcasts. So like,
they said, bet.
You got it, buddy.
This is like straight up monkey's paw shit. You ask and they do the most literal.
And then also like within an hour, so before anything even happened, I wrote back and said, hey, by the way, this will still allow like me to have some other videos of like if I like we did the Keith Plays a Porn Game episode. Like, well, I do want that to go. So like, hey, this is going to prevent, I can pick and choose which videos will do this, right? And they said, oh no, this turns off the entire thing. And I said, oh, I don't want that. And they said, okay, cool. We'll remove this ticket. I'm like, cool. No, great. Crisis averted. Nope. They didn't remove that ticket. In fact, it just went through. And so as we're recording this, I'm currently working on it, but there is no TryPod on Apple Podcasts.
So it removed.
Not there.
So Jesus.
No, I've been working on this for like a week.
It removed the entire podcast from the Apple Podcast.
I know it still
feed.
exists because the Apple Podcast people say, "Oh yeah, they're still there," but I can't. I can't bring it back until I have full ownership of this channel. And since channels are normally run by our advertising partners or presenting sponsors, like partners, like when we have like when you used to hear Ramble, those people actually have it. So I have to like fish through old contacts, get people to give me ownership of platforms, and then I have to go to Apple and say I should be the owner, and they're like, well, you're not attached, so I've got to send like legal documents to them proving that I'm the owner of this company.
All because you bought a lab coat and tried to run
and let me
tests.
tell you, sometimes you have to like snail mail these things. The only way to do it is by sending them
like literally,
literally, they have to be sent
through
a
the mail.
physical copy of a contract. You can't. So it's like a huge headache. You have to, and every time you work with one of these like people who's helping you on the back end, you get a different person. Yeah, so every time you do it, you have to be like, okay, here's the context of the last 7 emails I've had with 7 people.
It's
I
excruciating. I feel so bad for you because one, this was like your pet project.
I know.
Of like, hey, I heard about this thing. I think it could be cool. And
all I wanted to do was change it so that people could watch old episodes of the TryPod with video, which we've done, and also see if it would be worth making new feeds of Without a Recipe, Keith Eats, Try Guys, Try Every Day, etc. on Spotify. It'd be like, okay, well, this would be a fun way for some people who have Spotify Premium to watch our videos ad-free. Maybe it will reach some people who used to watch us and want to watch us again. Maybe it will reach new audiences. Whatever. It just gets more people to see our content in the place that they may want to watch it. But the interesting thing was like I did see value in doing it. So we do have probably hopefully starting today feeds of Try Guys, Keith Eats, Try Guys Game Time, and Try Every Day are going to be on Spotify now, so you can watch them and
ad free.
Ad free. If you have a Spotify Premium, it'll be ad-free. And if you don't, you'll watch it with ads, just like on YouTube. But maybe this is a better place for you to watch that. And if it's not, you can keep watching on YouTube or you keep watching on Second Try. We're just trying to make it so everyone has an easy time. But you can go subscribe to those. And if you are listening...
Yeah, and it would be super helpful for us.
It would be really helpful for those to succeed and have good surfacing to just the general Spotify community. If you went and gave those each a subscribe, watch some videos, give some likes, write some nice comments, it will help boost those. And again, if you have a Spotify Premium, you can now watch the things we put out on YouTube. You'll be able to watch those ad-free without changing anything in your life because you probably already have it or you might already have it. So that's just an interesting. So the links for that will be in the description, both here on YouTube and here on Spotify now. It's strange to say here in two places.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're hoping that you might give them some love and let those videos fill your Spotify feed and watch them there too. Or instead, or whatever.
Yeah. Or we may say this is a total waste of time of experiment. In 3 months, we'll stop doing it.
Yep. We don't know. But if you subscribe, it'll be less likely that we change.
No,
So
I think it's gonna be great. I think it's a cool, gives people a place to watch.
But man, has it been hard for me because of basically just people sort of not communicating to me the ramifications of decisions that I was telling them to go do.
Well, let's talk about the TryPod.
TryPod, yeah.
First and foremost, so when we announced that we were putting the show on ice, we didn't really know exactly what the next couple months were, so we didn't want to overpromise or say anything. But delighted to say that in the last couple months, Rainey has been in a ton of videos.
Yeah.
She's been a big part of the Try Guys Game Time cast. She's in my favorite episodes on that channel.
Yeah.
We tried to get her in Killer Dinner, we couldn't. She is in Phoning It In. Little oops all idiots. She's in the booth with a very special someone.
Yeah.
So that it's been such a delight. I'm thrilled that we get to keep having her in our orbit. I know she's also working on a podcast, so we'll be sure to keep you guys posted about that.
And Miles is in the Try Guys Game Time channel. He's also in Killer Dinner. He's also in Phoning It In. So Miles is nicely represented as well. So you're still getting our energy in different places. So that's really exciting for us.
And the continuation of that energy, we had Keith Plays a Porn Game, 3 wonderful seasons.
Incredible seasons.
And we are working on bringing it back, or literally we are working on the next season right now.
Right.
We had a kickoff call with Rainey. She's producing the new season. So we've been looking at the games. We have a couple games in mind. We were looking at the Taboo app. We've also been looking at some other apps that have branching stories.
And you may have heard that, I was very excited. I've been really trying to have it be Keith Plays a Porn Game in space, but we're not finding the salacious storytelling that we want in the space epics that exist on the various sensual apps.
Should I just straight up say the 3 that I was looking at today?
Yeah.
Rainey and I were texting about this morning. The 3, these are across 2 different apps. And so if you have opinions about this, if you're a little...
if you're a KPAPG
if you're a
slut.
porn lover... No, if you're versed in these games, because we're not, and sort of intentionally we're not. That's what makes it fun. If you have one that you think we should do, please let us know. But 3 games that we're looking at right now: Across the Void, which is space, but seems like not what we want. But I'm still interested. Heaven's Secret and Moonborn. So those are 3 that we're considering. They're not the only 3 we're considering.
Yeah, but those are sort of what we're circling around.
Lots of requested comment. This might be the most requested for comments episode we've ever done.
Yeah. We are asking for feedback. But yeah, that'll come out in the summer. So that's something to look forward to.
And then the TryPod itself. Obviously, we've heard you guys loud and clear. You love the show. You miss this show. We love it too. We love doing it. So we have been thinking about, are there ways for us to bring the show back? Not the way that it existed in the past, right? I think that doing it every week, every month for the whole year, we're not going to be able to do that. But can we do seasons of the TryPod? And so we're looking for solutions. Is it what we're doing with video on Spotify? Does that create enough revenue that we can,
Yeah, I mean, that was also one of the impetuses for that is that might unlock more revenue on the old TryPod catalog as well as...
Can that cover the salary for Miles and Rainey to do it?
Right, that's basically it. Is
talking about brand opportunities, could we get a really cool brand that presents a season of the TryPod?
Or a season of a plug. Like, can we get a car brand?
So we're looking at all the solutions, and I'm hopeful that is something we get to do this year, but more to come on that. And if not, until then, we're going to keep doing these one-offs intermittently.
So let's talk about some of the stuff that's come out this year that's been dope. What just finished airing, I'll talk about first, is the Try Guys New Orleans series.
So good.
The first Try Guys season with no Zach at all.
Yeah. You guys filmed that, I think, right before Maggie gave birth.
Because we were like, well, you're in the window. We don't want you to be across the country.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
But excellent videos. So you did jazz, voodoo,
and burlesque.
Jazz and voodoo will be coming out on YouTube, and the voodoo episode especially, I think, is one of the best things we've ever made.
It's really beautiful. It is very good because it destigmatizes something that has a terrible, as Kwesi would say, it has bad PR.
Bro, the history and knowledge lore that is dropped in that episode is so good. Like, it's some of our assumptions about voodoo are just based in, one, pure racism, but also
media sensationalism.
Even voodoo dolls are related to anti-literacy laws where black people, it was legal for them to learn how to read and write, and you're like, whoa,
they couldn't go to the doctor, right? They weren't allowed.
It like totally reframes this knowledge that I thought I had, and even the idea of black magic, because it's just, anything that was not Christianity was literally demonized.
Yeah.
It's such a wonderful episode, so emotionally cathartic.
High Priest Roby is so awesome. He's first of all, he does tours, so you can actually go book those tours with him in New Orleans. He's so smart.
One of the best characters that's been
passionate
in the video.
about what he's talking about. And
Beautiful soul.
He was wonderful. It was interesting for me because Rachel was on vacation when we were producing this, so I actually did a lot of the pre-production, which is not what I normally do. And
that means what?
Out.
Like, you're doing the calls,
I'm
finding
calling
the expert.
the Jazz Center of New Orleans. I'm talking with people. I'm scheduling the day. I'm finding a burlesque teacher on Instagram, DMing a few, calling them, interviewing them, finding out I
don't think I knew that you did this.
Yeah, finding out the locations and asking about days, figuring that out, and then. It was really hard to find an authority on voodoo. Really hard. We got sent people we were working with the tourism board of New Orleans to do the Eat the Menu we did down there, and they just didn't have good contacts. So I Googled walking tours New Orleans.
That's so
Walking
funny.
tours, voodoo history. I found an organization that had this guy. I stalked him on Instagram, wrote to him. He was like, hey, I don't want to be involved in anything that's trying to make fun of this. And I was like, oh, let me send you some videos of what we've done. Let me get on the phone with you and let me assure you that that's not our plot. Because I'm sure lots of people are YouTubers coming in I want to do a haunted voodoo video. I want to ghost hunt voodoo things or whatever it is. I want to make a spooky thing. And I was like, we want to know what it is. What is it? And he's like, I'll teach you what it is if you'll let me teach you. I'm like, let's go. And then we talked about all the things we could do for the video. We talked about the bath, talked about the herbology sort of element, all that stuff, narrowed down on what would be good. I mean, there were tons of things we could have done as well that we didn't do. And we narrowed in on what we thought would be great storylines. But then when we were actually shooting it, just so much more came out of it than we were all prepared to learn from it. And it's the history of it was so good. The how Native Americans or how indigenous Americans and slaves and how all this culture was commingling is basically the oppressed peoples figuring out a way to survive through their oppression, basically. It was really cool, really insightful. I also a lot of people on Discord have said very nice things about my vulnerability in that. And if I were to elaborate more on it, it's that it's been very difficult, especially if we even look at the last 9 months with different things spurting up. It's hard for us to we pride ourselves on making important, good stuff that's shedding light on things, and then stuff that we had no control over from our past sort of keeps dragging us down, literally losing huge brand deals. Anytime one of those things pipes up, if we're talking to a brand, that brand just leaves. Yep. So it constantly hurts us. So I think that is also part of that emotional struggle, is that we try so hard to do the right thing, and yet other people, unrelated wrong things.
Hard to take the high road when weights are trying to drag you down.
They're just fucking,
to that low road.
We're 4 years apart from it, and it still feels like every 3 months, it's punching us from from the past, and it's like, this is so frustrating.
Punching us from the past is kind of beautiful.
Right?
It's kind of low.
But I appreciate all the kind words from our fans who do see and recognize how hard we work, and that does mean a lot. So I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And I'll just say to all those people on Second Try, we couldn't make a show like that. We can't make a season like that without you.
Yeah.
It simply doesn't make enough just from YouTube revenue. I mean, we literally can't put burlesque on YouTube because we're all nearly naked in it. Even the 60-second sizzle got age gated. Just advertising that we had a burlesque video on YouTube, that got like hidden basically from most of our viewership.
It's sort of interesting, like Try Guys in 2026, because the thing that we see as like the heart and soul of what we do, if we were if we were trying to be the best YouTubers we could be, Try Guys doesn't necessarily even fit on the Try Guys channel anymore.
Yeah.
The things, all of our food content, Eat the Menu, Phoning It In, Without a Recipe, those are the whales. Those are the things that sort of allow us to make the things we do. And so we actually sort of use the profits and revenue from those shows as like the patron to the arts to make the Try Guys stuff, which is what we think is really wonderful and valuable and like crucially important for the world. And subscriptions from Second Try are the thing that also allow us to make those shows.
Yeah, we got a partnership from the tourism board to go shoot and Eat the Menu.
Right.
And I said, hey, can we stay for 3 more days and do a New Orleans series? And they're like, well, we can subsidize some of that cost for you. And they're like, okay, that'll make it affordable for us to make this thing, especially knowing that one video couldn't go and would only be subsidized by Second Try subscribers. So just if you are a subscriber, you are the reason we can make important stuff like that. And the Cameron Esposito series about
Call Them Mother.
Call Them Mother.
It's a great show. And
so
like,
good.
It's really, I guess I'll just say it again, like the world is a crazy, scary place. And the internet especially, I think we've talked about this a little bit, but over the past let's just say over the past 10 years, we have seen this movement of the internet being this place where marginalized voices can rise to the top and be highlighted. And now the internet is increasingly becoming this dark, yucky place where everything seems to lead to radicalization and right-wing radicalization. Like the way I saw someone say this, the way that all sewers lead or all drains lead to shit. All drains lead to the sewer. I thought that was beautifully said.
So beautifully said.
So for us to be able to carve out our own little corner where we still get to tell these stories, like we're never going to stop doing that till they drag us out of here, till the lights shut off. That's the thing that's most meaningful to us. Yeah. So we made the show with Cameron Esposito. Cameron, who's an old friend of ours, came to us and said, revealed to us a year ago that they were pregnant, and then said, I've never seen a show about a non-binary pregnant person. And we were like, I want to see that show.
It's interesting.
And specifically with Second Try, we have this opportunity. We get to greenlight the shows that no other networks would make. Mm-hmm. No one's making that show, and we get to. And it also felt like this wonderful opportunity to sort of revisit these formats that we think we're the best at. You know, we first became popular making pregnancy content, so to be able to revisit it through this interesting new lens, super proud of those shows, super proud of that. And then we also have Cameron's full stand-up special on Second Try.
That's exclusive. The rest of the series premiered on Second Try but goes on YouTube, because even though it likely won't get the reach we wish it did on YouTube, we still think it's really valuable education and entertainment for our audience on YouTube, and hopefully it'll find new people that are looking for something like that. We don't want to gatekeep what we feel like is good progressive education.
Yeah, there's a bit of like we feel this push and pull, right? Because shows like Call Them Mother we can only make because of Second Try. But then there's also something where it feels like if we're making a show about a marginalized group, I don't want to put that behind a paywall.
Yeah.
So both the paywall is what makes that possible, but also like that's why we put episodes of
New Guy Tries
Tries Out, the documentary, the infertility doc that's going to be coming out later this year. We're going to put that up on YouTube later this year as well. It just is like, I don't think it would feel good to us to keep it.
Yeah, but we can't make it if we don't have Second Try.
Can I talk about something interesting that happened?
Yeah.
So the most recent episode of Call Them Mother, which was us recreating pregnancy announcements, to me is like such a, first of all, it's a great video. And the thumbnail is depending on which one won out, it's either me recreating the Demi Moore pregnancy and you recreating the Beyonce pregnancy announcement photo. And it is such a classic Try Guys video.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, this is like, again, us doing a tried and true format, but
a photo
refreshing
recreation in a generally like women's identity, or at least a pregnant person's identity.
So like such a like if you've been watching the Try Guys, and there were a lot of people who've been watching this for a long time who were like, oh, we're so back. Like this is peak era Try Guys, but refresh for 2026. But then, especially in the first hour, there were so many comments of people being like, what the fuck is this shit? Ew, gross. Now, I don't know if they were talking specifically about my naked body, which hurt.
Which, yeah, for sure.
Hurtful,
At
but
least
hurt.
ew, yuck. Maybe not ew, gross.
But there were also seemingly people who were like disgusted by the fact that we were highlighting a queer person's story. And I was like, first of all, where the fuck did you guys come from?
How have you been here?
What channel do you think this is?
How are you unsubscribing? How are you subscribed?
So we saw it was the biggest unsubscribe day on the Try Guys channel
this year, in several months for sure.
So, and it was like, and that was really disappointing. And now I do appreciate the the commenters and all the fans who came in of like, this is great, and also this is why I'm here. But there is definitely that tension of like, maybe those are people who came for because they like the funny food stuff and didn't realize the rest of what our ecosystem is.
Yeah.
But that was surprising.
I open every Eat the Menu with, at the end is like, now let's eat the menu. Taco Bell. Also, I like gay people. And if you don't like gay people, get the fuck out of here. Right? Like, should I do that to help people just understand what our platform is?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, just a
maybe.
couple pride flags in the background. I think that's fair.
To go back to New Orleans,
yes.
Something that was great about that was the first series where the majority of Try Guys were not OG Try Guys, right? You have Ryan Garcia, you have Jared Popkin, you have Quasi James, first of his name, one time for Brooklyn.
Yep.
Everybody had an emotional journey, and there was something that happened in the BTS of it. So at the very end of the trip, like we went out to dinner and like we're hanging out, and then we went out like for drinks and we're hanging out and we were sitting outside, and I was sitting with Quasi and Jared and Ryan, and they were like, this was such a crazy experience. Like I the last 3 days have been stuff that like I never thought I would do in my life, and I never thought like, and how could I have done them all in such rapid succession? How did we do burlesque 2 nights ago? And then last night we played with legendary jazz musicians, and today we got a full, fresh perspective of something we hadn't understood about American history our entire lives.
And a huge emotional catharsis with it.
And like, yeah, that's what being a Try Guy is like this kind of insane thrust into high learning about yourself opportunities, because all of them did that. Like burlesque made us all address some insecurities we have. Jazz made us all like understand a history, but also like dare to take a big risk in front of an audience in a different way. Like we're all performers. Like everybody, like the burlesque is like the body insecurity, but like all of us can get on a stage and be funny. But getting on a stage and being musically skilled is not the same. You can't make a joke to cover up your mistakes. You just have to be like, fuck, I missed that note, keep moving.
For jazz, you're saying.
For jazz. Yeah. And then so like it was them being like, wow, that was crazy. They all came out of this like being like, whoa, I just feel like a different person in this dip. And I was like, and it kind of made me like, well, how lucky am I to have had so many of those experiences?
Best.
But how happy am I to be able to help other people have those experiences? Like the metaphor in the jazz video is like, I'm sort of the backbone of this group right now. It's not about me being the star today. But I felt in that dinner is like, well, it wasn't really about, I think what's good about growing older with this company is finding more and more opportunities to get other people to have these cool experiences.
It just makes the story so much richer, right?
Makes it so much richer.
Yeah, the Quasi alone in the Voodoo video is more interesting than anything you or I could have brought to it, and hands down. And it's what a privilege and an honor to be able to do it like that. As you were talking, it made me realize something that I sort of goes unspoken, and it's almost so obvious that maybe sometimes we forget it, that we are the Try Guys. We try stuff, but lots of people try stuff, and people try really crazy stuff. But I think what sets our videos apart when we do it right is that the external try reveals an internal truth. And it is actually about an internal revelation or transformation or exposing something that maybe you were keeping secret. The best videos are actually the interior journey is activated by the exterior journey.
Yeah. I had no expectation that I was going to get emotional in the video. Like, I had no idea that was going to be a part of that video.
You cried in that video.
Mm-hmm.
Kwesi didn't, but got emotional.
Yeah.
Or maybe he did.
He bared truths that he had never spoken aloud, probably even to himself. I feel like
Jared cried during the jazz video, which I didn't expect. Because these are all these are fun, funny videos, and all of a sudden it's like, bam.
Yeah.
So Ryan Garcia, what's up, buddy?
Where's his tears?
What's up, dude? What's up, dog?
I don't know.
3 for 4.
I know. We got to find one. He even lost to a child playing ping pong and didn't cry. That would have torn me up. He lost to several children, actually.
Can I tell you, the other night I texted Ryan. He didn't respond.
No way. He texted me this morning trying to send us a brand deal from a friend who had a lot of brand dollars and needed to spend this year. And I said, thank you, please do that.
I did text
that was
him.
good, actually.
I like that. Now, I did text him at 5:30 asking if he wanted to play pickleball 2 hours from then.
And normally he would have, in the past, he would have said, I'm there.
So I just want to say, Ryan Garcia, you didn't cry and you ignored my text.
Yeah.
We have beef.
I want to take a moment just related to the New Orleans, but also like of me saying that we've shot 65 videos. I want to shout out Rachel, who did such a good job with Killer Dinner, but also ran straight into phoning it in, which requires like getting all these crazy talented chefs to like come through our building. And it's like, it's no small feat.
I'm going to interrupt your shout outs, but we have the greatest lineup of chefs we've ever had in that show.
Except we lost 2 of them because they were sick.
Yeah, but the lineup, even without them, is still incredible.
But also, like, even just then, like, Rachel on the fly was recasting because we had sicknesses. People get sick. That happens. So, like, but in 3 hours, finding a new judge that actually is still of an import that makes them be a big judge that can sit on a panel with these other famous judges. So sick. So great job to her for that. She also helped us, and with Desiree, helped do the Try Every Day block shoots. Skylar running the Try Guys Game Time shoots. Like, so many things are being done.
And hey, how about the whole production team who's
insane? Like,
huge.
Again, 65 videos in less than 65 days. And it's all being done by this in-house team of people. And it's like everyone is working super fucking hard. There's no way you can accomplish that if you're not working super fucking hard. So shout out to the entire team. Logistically, it's challenging. Physically, it's challenging.
And Devin are making this puzzle of figuring out how we're gonna fit all these.
Knocking on our door, being like, "Guys, you need to let us know what show we're filming next so we can schedule it." And we're like, "Yeah." But we'll work on that.
Our editor's knocking shit out of the park. Everything's sounding crisp and clean thanks to Jack on the 1s and 2s.
And like pickup shoots. Even this, this was me sending an email yesterday, being like, "Hey, we need to shoot this podcast because we just have a lot of updates we want to share." And it looks like tomorrow's kind of dead, even though it follows shooting 6 videos in 4 days. So they like cleaned out this space we're in right now. Yesterday, it was a set. It looked totally different. Had lights in here, had sound.
Fake wall with wainscoting. When you look at phoning it in, you see it. There's like the place where we do our little direct to camera where we find it, talk about like our experience. That's actually shot in this room. So.
Yeah, it's on the podcast studio. So that's where that exists. That same our confessionals for Killer Dinner in this room. This is our little confessional room. And it gets flipped, and it's crazy how different it looks. And then right back to normal the next day.
We obviously in this episode are like trying to throw 1,000,001 updates because there's tons of stuff going on. But a goal, I have a lot of goals this year. God, I have so many goals.
Yeah, so many goals.
But one of my goals this year is for us to do a better job at bringing you in and communicating like what's going on, why we're doing what. So I'm doing a test right now on our email and our newsletter. And I'm going to be doing that for the next couple of weeks. And I think we'll then, expand it beyond it. So like give us feedback there of bringing you behind the scenes of like what's coming up, what decisions we're making. Because it also even occurred to us like programming decisions. We made 3 episodes of Kwesi Learns last year. Why did we only make 3 episodes, and is it coming back? And why hasn't it come back? Like, you don't know that, we know that.
Right.
So, like, okay, I'll tell you that one. Like, yeah, we made the show. We love the show. There were supposed to be like 2 more episodes. Quasi got sick, and it's coming back. We love it.
Yep.
It's great. It did super well. But it has to be filmed during convention season, which is the summer, so you'll get more. Like little things like that, I think we can do a better job at just letting you know what's going on. So that's a big goal for us this year, whether it's in these episodes or maybe said a little more streamlined and coherently on the email newsletter.
You know what else we shot?
What did we shoot?
10 frickin' episodes of Charlie Problems.
Oh, yeah.
Remember how we shot that? I think only 4 weeks ago.
I actually didn't remember that.
I fully forgot about it, but
those
the
edits
best
are coming
season yet.
Yeah, no, it really
with
is.
the craziest gets ever.
Yeah, we'll have a trailer for that pretty soon. I've watched 3 episodes as the edits have been coming in, and it is just so funny.
They're so funny. That's a show we've really tried to be like, okay, this is something let's invest more in and get 10 episodes and like let it run for like half of the year on second try so we can get a show that can be a big like recurring thing for our viewers there. So we have a lot of things that are short sprints because they're like important, but you kind of want a long show that you can like come back to every other week and you know it's there, you know it's a fun time. So really excited about that season.
So that starts in, I think, May, and then we'll go through August.
Yeah.
And then actually, if you guys like it, there might be a little bonus additional thing that can come out after it. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. And that was like the first thing after paternity leave I got thrown back into. And so it was sort of like this crazy, like, try to remember how to make videos. Okay, yeah, and I got in the writer's room and I just cranked out scripts, and I'm really proud of what we came up with.
And you know what else we shot?
What?
A little smoke show. 420 holiday special.
You know what's crazy is that genuinely, as you're saying all these things, I know,
forget.
I
forgot because again, 65. It's hard to remember all 65.
It does make sense. I forgot the smoke show one.
Yeah, for sure.
That was so fun. It's the smoke show, as you said, the 420 holiday special. It has lots of our friends and special guests. And I sort of want to just, because I don't even know if should we just tell them what it is?
Yeah.
They made it to the end of this episode.
They're here.
So
these are the people that want to know the most.
So it's a 420 holiday special. And when Desiree and I got in a room, we were trying to figure out, like, what the fuck is this? Because, like, we've had Cheech and Chong. We've had, like, where does the show go from here? And we're like, well, if it's the 420 holiday special, what if we just treat this like a Christmas special? And immediately, eureka, everything clicked into place. And so it fully is like the Sabrina Carpenter Christmas special, but about smoking weed.
Yeah.
And Keith Habersberger himself plays Never Weezer Scrooge.
Never Weezer Scrooge.
and the entire episode is about trying to teach Never Weezer the meaning of 420 magic. And my God, it's so fun. It's so silly. What a great day. I loved it. Loved it. I don't know how we're going to top it, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah. So many fun things.
It's like a movie.
It was insane. It was so funny though.
I'm so excited to see the opening package cut.
Oh yeah.
There's a little song.
There is a little song.
Every holiday special needs a song.
You gotta have a song.
It was stuck in my head for weeks. I actually think it just got out of my head, and now I'm going to start singing it again.
I'm singing it right now in my head.
God, it's so good.
What else has happened? What else do we look? What's coming this summer? Anything that we can think about? I mean, Phoning It In will come out in April, May, or June.
Fuck it. I guess I'm just spilling everything.
Spilling the tea.
Things
we want to do.
Well, we had so much fun ghost hunting last year that we're doing it again.
Yeah.
And actually, we're doing a season of it. And actually, we have a pretty fun take on it that I think is a really good time.
Yeah.
But that felt like, when we did that, it felt like a sleepover.
Yeah.
It's like the only time
sleepover in a room full of asbestos. I'm pretty sure we were in a very hazardous environment. So next time we're going to be a little more safe about that.
We're getting ready. There's going to be, as I said, another season of Quasi Learns, another season of New Guy Tries, and I'm really excited about this season because I think it's going to be more episodes. Like, instead of just a 3-episode season, we've got really fun tries that I think are going to be great. So we're starting to work on that. And then, of course, Without a Recipe.
Yeah.
That's the year.
It's crazy. And then all the eat the menus in between. I've already eaten so many menus. I'm eating Dave & Buster's next week. I might even drink Dave & Buster's.
That's fun.
Yeah, because they have enough specialty cocktails where I could make a whole second episode. So we're seeing if we can go there 2 days in a row.
Wow.
I know. It's going to be sort of crazy. But I'm excited. I'm also looking at some very fun, weird eat the menus. Like we talked about, like when we're in Korea, I'm going to shoot some of theirs. But I want to do like, what if we ate everything at Waffle House, but at Waffle House at midnight in Florida? You know, like if we're going to do some of these travel ones, I got to hit Culver's. And everybody's like, what about Culver's, Keith? I want to figure out, like, but I got to go to frickin' Wisconsin for sure. I got to go to the Midwest to eat Culver's. I need to, like, I don't know, do it during a tailgate of a Green Bay Packers game or something. I need to, like, find what makes it crazier. We'll see. It's a big frickin' year.
I'm thinking back to, like, because it's been so long since you've done a McDonald's or a Taco Bell, like, has it changed?
Of course it's changed. Everything changes in the world of fast food.
I'm just like...
the menu. So I've been thinking. So here's a tea spill. You ready for this?
Okay.
Next year, on September 23rd, is the 10-year anniversary of Eat the Menu.
That's crazy.
Isn't
what
that
do you
insane?
mean?
It's the 10-year anniversary of the first. And you know what's even funnier about that? So September 23rd, it was the first Keith Eats Everything at McDonald's. September 24th, Becky and I got married. 10-year anniversary of our wedding and 10-year anniversary of me eating too much food.
Because I just vaguely remember this. We were at your rehearsal dinner, and we were like, dang, this video's like crushing.
This video's bobbing
Sick.
off. This is out of control.
Oh, sick.
And I think we looked at it like, even like on the day of the wedding, it's like, bro, this thing exploded. We're going to have to make more of these. And then we didn't at BuzzFeed.
Yeah.
And then it was one of the first things we shot when we launched the company with the Taco Bell.
Or maybe it was the first or second thing.
So I'm wondering, like, should I, on the 10-year anniversary, eat McDonald's again? Because that's actually the only one that isn't like our format at all.
Right.
Because it was like a vlog and I had everything on the table.
Video.
So, like, maybe that's what I do. Maybe I do something else. There might be another secret project. There's new hot sauces this year, if you can believe that. 4 new hot sauces this year, which is crazy. 4. All limited drops, though. So we're only making, like, they're just small batches to see if there's interest in some more new flavors. So.
Fun.
So that's fun. But next year
I can't get over the fact that your wedding anniversary is one day.
Yeah, Eat the Menu's older than our wedding, than our marriage. You can believe that. But I am looking for, like, what's going to make that day, what's going to make it special? What video do I do? What other things can we put around it that make it a big celebration of Eat the Menu? Because it's got to be celebrated.
It's got to be.
Got to be celebrated.
It's got to be.
It's got to be.
It's got to be.
Celebrated. I did, like, we were talking about funny goals for us to have, and we decided that maybe my goal, because I'm almost there anyway, is to be the person who's eaten the most fast food in the world. So, like, by starting to eat international chains, I'm close already. So.
I low-key want to get you a Guinness record.
Yeah.
But I do think for us to pull that off, like, you do need to eat at every fast food chain in Korea, and then in Japan, and then in London, and then in Scotland, and
which sounds
France,
like a fun way to see the world.
Mozambique.
Yeah. I know. I can't believe that it's 10 years.
Oh, I got new glasses, and then I returned them.
Cool.
They came in, and because I went, they were like my same glasses, but they were updated. They were like cooler. And I was like, hell yeah. And I'm like, and I put them, and they were like, oh yeah, they're like basically the same size. I'm like, cool. I'm about to sneeze. Excuse me. Allergies. Spring's coming. No.
This story. What are you're talking about?
No, this is
glasses.
a story that people are gonna love.
Okay.
This is the
Are you sure?
This is the juice they forget. You think they came to the TryPod for I don't know.
I was going to tell them about what happened at the Korean barbecue restaurant. To me,
that is a better story.
It's a way better story.
I yield my time.
Okay. We were in New York. We were with some other YouTubers learning. We were having a great time. And Michelle Kare comes over and says, Keith, do you want to go to dinner with us? And I said, sure. And she's like, great. Where should we go? Which was so funny. And I was
she was thrilled. She was like, I get to eat with Keith. Which
Yeah.
I'm like, Michelle, we've known you for literally over a decade. You've certainly eaten with Keith.
Yeah, but it was about me because, if you go to a fun restaurant with me and you let me, I'll run the table.
Yeah.
which means I'll make sure we get all the stuff we want and we'll have a great time. So we went to Agassi, which is a Korean barbecue chain that we worked with when we did the Keith Eats Everything with ATs. So that they have a LA one and they have a New York one. So I'm like, oh, let's go here. I know it's good. So we went there. We had a huge meal. Delicious. So much fun. Because we've done work with them, the owner is always like, if you're there, please let me comp you because we brought them so much attention. I'm like, of course I'll let me have free dinner and my friends have free dinner, of course. So we do it. They comp the meal, but I'm like, I'm never gonna let any servers not get tipped, even if because they don't. It's weird. They was like, no, don't tip, and I was like, no, we just ate a bunch of food. You served us, especially we were the only people there, and they started cleaning up the restaurant because we were there late. And so when we leave, I go and I give a tip to our server, who I actually have to call out of the kitchen to give him a tip. So I say, hey, excuse me. And
this is why Keith always carries cash.
I always carry cash so I can tip people. And I give him money. And then I'm like, feeling good. I've just treated my friends to a delicious, fun dinner. I've just generously tipped the nice person who stayed late to
you
take care of us.
basically paid what the meal would have cost to this guy.
Yeah.
And so Keith has this moment of like, I'm the coolest dude in the world. I just made this dude's night.
And I just like treated all my friends. Some of them have never eaten Korean barbecue like that before. So I've like introduced a new wonderful experience that I love. We shared laughs. We shared meats. We shared kimchi. So I turn around and I start walking out with a nice breeze in my step. I'm swift. And they've just mopped the floors. And I'm wearing brand new shoes with just no traction on them. And I slip. And I slip and I try to catch myself and I'm like a cartoon suspended in air with both of my feet desperately trying. I grab the seat to try to stop myself from falling. And I'm also holding 2 big bags of liquid IV. Because one of the salespeople we talked to gave us it because I just love liquid IV. And I fall and I hit my left butt cheek hard. It is a tile floor. And I have so much forward momentum. I slide 6 feet forward on my butt before jumping back up in panic to hope that I haven't hurt myself.
I don't know if this has happened to you where you're so ashamed to fall that
you get right back up.
Boom, boom.
I'm fine.
Fall up.
Yeah.
And you go, I'm fine.
But I stood up 6 feet from where I had fallen because, again, the floor was slippery and I was moving swiftly. So I get back up. The lady brings me a bag because I've ripped my liquid IVs all over the floor. Everyone freezes.
He's still holding the cash in his hand.
Yeah. Yes.
Looking at you like,
The whole staff is around looking at me. A lady comes to see if I'm okay. And then she asks if I want a bag for my liquid IV because it's spilled all over the floor.
Your liquid IV burst open on the impact to the floor.
And then it's one of those bags that's very thin, so it's hard to you have to wiggle your fingers around it to open it, and she can't open it. So she's staring at me asking if I'm okay for 20 seconds, and I'm going, I think I'm okay. And she's trying to open the bag, and she can't open the bag, and then she finally opens the bag. I put it in. I say, thank you so much. She's like, you sure you're okay? I'm like, yes, I'm going to leave now. So embarrassed. And then the next night, though, I go actually eat Korean barbecue again the next night with a different set of friends. And I say, oh, let's stop by there, and we'll just eat there again. But they're closing. But I say, hey, do you happen to have security video from last night? Could I see my fall? And they let me see it. I have it on video, so I'll drop it and you can watch me right now. You can see me fall and slip and grab and hit my butt on the ground. And I spring back up. And it doesn't look as bad on the video, but in the moment, it was mortifying. And it lasted forever.
I have the thread, the text thread between me and Michelle where we were talking about the meal, and you go, my butt hurts, but honestly, I think it was good for me. And we both were like, what the fuck are you talking about? You say, I have a fear of falling, and so falling and it being ultimately okay, it's probably good.
Yeah, it was. It was good because I'm very afraid of slipping and falling.
And that's sort of the Try Guys method right there.
Yeah.
Do something that's scary.
And I gotta say, if I hadn't been holding that liquid IV, I probably would have tried to catch my fall with my hands, and I might have actually hurt my wrist.
Yeah.
So liquid IV saved my life.
And liquid IV now they have an energy one.
Yeah, it's good. It's got caffeine in it.
Got me caffeinated. Got me through phoning it in.
Unofficial sponsor. We would love for them to be a sponsor. We love liquid IV.
Love liquid IV. Man.
We love liquid IV.
Well,
that's it.
I returned my glasses.
Yeah,
and you'll never know why.
Yeah, they're gone now. But as we end here, if you're watching on Spotify, again, plug to go and check out those feeds that are in the link in the description. Go subscribe to them, give them some love so we can get those videos out to the people. And if you're one of those people that has Spotify Premium, watching our content ad-free from here on out. So that's pretty cool. And that's it, right?
Well,
we love you.
Oh, right. Keith? Hit us with the official one-off TryPod theme song.
I fell down on my butt. I fell on my butt at a Korean barbecue restaurant. That's right, I fell on my butt. I slipped and fell, and the whole staff looked in awe, and they were scared, because when you see a big man fall on the ground, you are scared that he has died, but I didn't die. It's the TryPod.
I didn't die.
I didn't die.
I didn't die.
See you next quarter.
Have a good ass week or month.